1962 Volkswagen T1 Splitscreen. This one I believe started life in Sweden before being imported to the UK. It's now fully UK registered. It's been here for some time. We will detail in the description all of its sort of history, where it's been, all that sort of stuff. From what I understand, it has been, or it has got quite a good size history file, so we'll get some good information out of that. Obviously being a left-hand drive means we've got the barn doors on the correct side, so they're on the curb side for you as well, which is always good, as opposed to, for example, the South African ones that have the doors on the wrong side. As you can see, finishing this lovely cream over orange, that classic VW camper look. We'll start by having a good look at the bodywork, then we'll move on to the interior, and then we'll go for a cold engine startup. Starting on this driver's side, so left-hand side, driver's side, down this seam here is all nice and neat. There's no cracks or anything in there. All good around the wing mirror bracket. Again, it could do with a bit of a good clean. The whole thing could do with a proper scrub. And there's a little bit of surface corrosion on the actual arm for the wing mirror, but the wing mirror itself is all good. Nothing really to note down the bottom here. A little bit of sort of dirt on the bumper, but generally the bumper's nice and clean. Rest of that door, that's all good. There's no sort of chips or cracks or anything in that. Quite often you can get sort of cracking coming through on where the body lifts out on that sort of curve there, you can see. But this one is very good. Nice and clean along that seal there. It's not dried out or cracked. Same goes for around the windows. We've got a little bit of sort of orange coming through here and there on the window rails, which is quite common on these. Sort of the first place where you sort of start to notice these things. A bit of patina, if you like. Up onto the roof. Roof could do with a good polish. It's sort of patchy in places. Obviously where it's quite difficult to get up to and clean. And we do have this very nice large rear roof rack with the wooden base. Is that proper T1, T2 style roof rack. Continuing our way down this side, again this seam here and down the bottom, that's all nice and tidy. If we have a look under there, you can see that's nice and sharp. The arch itself is sharp all the way around. So a narrow beam on the front with a brake disc conversion, which is a nice touch. And these nice chrome wheels, arguably they could do with a little bit of a refurb. There's some lacquer cloudiness here and there, and the nuts are they've got a bit of surface rust on the nuts, so they want sort of taken off and cleaned. Continuing our way down this side, a little bit of surface rust on that hinge there. A very, very small crack just starting in the paint there. And there's another one up the top there as well. But down the bottom, again, all good. If we go along that sill on this side, you can see it's nice all the way along. A little bit of it's been a repair there at some point, but it looks to have been done properly. If we go underneath, you can see chassis, outriggers, all that sort of stuff. The floor is really good under there, very, very clean. Not absolutely caked in under seal or anything like that. All very good. Continuing our way down this side, got a little chip in the paint just under this window here, and there's a little bit of sort of surface corrosion here where the seal's been sort of trapping the water, if you like. Just once, but it actually looks like it would polish off, to be fair. And there is the odd little bit of patina and marking on the rail as we go down. Around this rear window, which is a pop-out one, that's all nice and tidy. And then on this rear section, you've got one or two very small stone chips here and there, but generally very good. Rear arch, lovely and sharp all the way around. And really all four wheels could do with a refurb. Like I said, there's a bit of milkiness in the lacquer. One of the areas you want to look for is this seam here, which on this one, as you can see, is nice and tidy. It's not thick with paint or filler or anything like that. Coming round on the back, we've already got the boot popped open. Or sorry, the engine cover popped open because it is the early style on the T-bar. Chrome work, it could do with a good polish, but actually is in nice condition. It's been a long time since I've seen a T1 or a T2 without a dented bumper. This one's really, really good. Being really picky, there's a tiny little scuff just there. But again, when you polish it, I would be surprised if that doesn't go as well. Behind the bumper underneath here is all nice and solid. On both sides, there's no sign of any corrosion coming through there. Around the hinges on the back, that's all good. Tail lights are clean and bright as well. Got a little bit of surface rust just starting on that hinge there. That one's cleaned off as well. All good on the roof from this side. It does come with this, I believe, sort of 2-3 man awning. Good size one as well. Nice and clean and tidy in there. All good down this seam on this side as well and around the vents. Obviously, you've got your filler cap around here as well. There's no marking around that. There is a scratch here where something's sort of gone down the side of it at some point. You can see it doesn't particularly spoil it, but it is worth pointing it out. Arch on this side. Again, if we have a look in there, you can see it's lovely and sharp all the way around. Again, like I said, the wheels could do with a refurb. Underneath, on this side, bit lighter from under here so you can have a better look. You can see all nice and solid in there. It's not sort of patchwork quilt of repairs or anything like that. The sill along this side, nice and neat as well. Same as the other side, there's a little bit of surface rust just starting where the seam or the seal has sort of sat and held the moisture against the metalwork there. All good on this one. It's just on that middle one there. And there is a little bit of paint cracking on the gutter, like the same on the other side. All nice and neat down this seam here, and this front arch, lovely and sharp all the way around. Behind the bumper is good on this side as well. Nothing really to note on the passenger door. Same story on the wing mirror. Wing mirror is lovely and tidy. A little bit of surface rust on the arm. We've got a little bit of bubbling starting at the bottom front here. Sort of goes all the way along. It is solid if you push on it. All the way along, and that seam is nice and sharp. But it is just starting there. It is worth pointing that out. And there is a little bit of cracking in the paint on this side on the window. Chrome work on the front, so the bumpers are nice. Around the window, the lights are good. And the big badge on the front is all nice and tidy as well. Moving on to the interior. Like we said earlier on, left-hand drive. All nice and clean on the door shut. Bulkhead is all good as well. We've got a black vinyl single seat with a bench on the passenger side. No real signs of any wear at all to that. Painted section of the dash is all nice and neat. This one shows 8,539 miles. I would imagine that's been over because it resets, as you'll see, to 5-digit speedo. So that's more likely to be 108,000 by this sort of age. But again, we'll check everything and write that in the description. And again, you've got, like I said earlier on, you've got the barn doors where they are on the right side for the curb and all that sort of stuff. And it still works on the original pull. It doesn't have a set of secondary pulls put on it, which is nice. Sort of piped leather to match the rest of the van there. We've got a rock and roll bed in the back. It's been done out very nicely in here. It is worth pointing out now the headlining is brand new. It just hasn't finished being fitted. So that one's fitted. All the beading's there for it. It once laid out properly. You can see what it's like underneath from there. It's got this really cool sort of Hawaiian style surfboard as a table. That's a really nice touch. All the vinyl in here, I would say that's vinyl. Yeah, it's definitely vinyl. Nice condition, like I say, pretty much brand new. Bit of an unfinished project and that. They've done all the expensive bits. Just wants that final 5% done. And then round at the back. So you've got that rock and roll bed like we mentioned. Just get that popped up there. It wants that last bit of trim on either side of here done, but it's nice that you can see on the inside, you can see that's all nice and solid. If we lift that up underneath there, that's all very good. And then in here, we've got 1600cc twin port engine. You'll notice it's on a booster pack. It's been sort of laid up for the winter, so the battery's a bit flat. We'll get that charged up, see if that's holding charged. At the minute, it's starting off a booster pack. Presume it needs a battery. If it doesn't, then that's obviously good news. We will charge it up, like I said. Go for an engine start up there. Like I say, it's actually the first video of the day, so this one's been parked up since yesterday. Firing up on the button there. Putting away nice and happy. Nothing nasty coming out the back. I believe it did have an engine rebuild in about 2008, but we'll detail all of that in the description. Look under there. Sounds like a 1600 air-cooled VW to me. So there you have it, 1962 T1 split screen. Any more questions, please get in touch. Thank you.